Okay, so I want to talk about squats and 3 big myths when it comes to doing squats correctly. Myth number 1 is that a wide stance with your toes pointed out is more effective for working your butt. That is wrong. A stance where your feet are straight ahead, about hip width apart, is the most effective stance to work on your butt. The reason is when you go wide with your toes pointed out, which a lot of people do because they can go down further, what actually happens is you're working your inner thighs a lot more. So Vicky, do some squats with your toes pointed out. There you go. Weight on the heels, go down. There you go. So this is a good lower body exercise. She's working on her legs and her butt, but her inner thighs are doing more of the work than her butt. Now Vicky, I want you to go with the stance, hip width apart, feet straight ahead, sit your butt back slowly, keep really good form. When she does it like this, her butt is the primary muscle that's working. And that's what's going to build and lift your butt up more. Now I want to talk about myth number 2. Myth number 2 is people saying, oh, to work your butt out, you got to drop your butt all the way to the floor. You have to go all the way down to work your butt out. So once again, what do people do? They put their feet wide, toes pointed out, and they drop their butt really low. But once again, like I said, you're working your inner thighs as your primary muscle when you go with the wide stance. When you go with the closer stance, it's pretty hard to get your butt to the floor. So Vicky, I want you to keep perfect form, back straight, don't let your knees go forward, keep both your feet straight ahead, and go back down slowly. Get more, actually come over here more towards the camera so that people can see. There you go. Okay, so do a squat, and then back up. So Vicky goes to almost parallel, sitting level, but she's doing it in correct form. To go down further, try getting your butt all the way to the floor. She rounds her back, go back up. And rounding your back is going to hurt your lower back. You do not want to round your back. So because of her flexibility, which her flexibility is actually pretty good, she can go further than most people. She's only going to go about this far down, and she's still getting a great butt workout. For some of you, you can't go that far down. You can go maybe half as far. So do a few more, Vicky. Go about right there and back up. Go about halfway down and back up. You're still working your butt out. Even go closer to your stance. Go closer. Feet straight ahead. There you go, right there. And sit your butt back. There you go. So doing a stance like that, nice and slow, she's really hitting her butt. Yeah, she's not going all the way to the floor, even like way down here past her knees, but that's really working out her butt. If her flexibility is better, which most people her age don't have the greatest flexibility, because as we get older, our flexibility gets worse, you can't go down as far. So go down as far as you can comfortably, and you're still getting a very good butt workout. And if you go too far down, you can hurt yourself, so focus on the perfect form. Now I want to talk about myth number 3 with butt exercises. Okay, squats are one of the best butt exercises for most people. I know some people are like, they're all about squats. I think everybody should be doing squats. Squats are the best exercise for your butt. One of the best when you can do them correctly. See, the problem is, I would say half the people out there have some pretty major muscle imbalances. Actually, I'll say just even minor muscle imbalances, but when you start adding weight, they become major muscle imbalances, especially over time. For example, Vicky, face the camera, come centered, and I want you to go ahead and do some squats. Yeah, don't hit me in the head. Okay, stop. Now, some of you may have noticed that when she did her squats, her hips shift a little bit. Vicky, like a lot of people, has some muscle imbalances. The reason is because throughout most of her life, she was always a dancer. And when she was doing dancing, she was always jumping off and pressing off her left leg. So that means that her left leg was doing hundreds more reps every day she was practicing. So it got a lot stronger than her right leg. So when she does these exercises, one side of her body is stronger than the other, so it's going to push and lift more, which is going to cause the hips to rotate. That's actually kind of common. And like I said, half the people out there probably have a problem similar to this. So that means that if Vicky's doing heavy barbell squats, and she's doing a bunch of reps, a bunch of sets, and doing them, throughout the month several times, that's going to be pulling on her spine. It's going to give her back pain, and it's not a good thing to have. So for Vicky, I had her do a program where she was not doing really any heavy barbell squats. She would do some jumping squats and things like that, but I wasn't having her do squats. And she was still able to really build up her butt and legs. If you haven't already seen it, check out her before and after video where you can see the before and the after. And I mean, her butt grew, her legs got a lot more athletic and stronger, and that was without any heavy barbell squats. So all these people that tell you, oh, it's all about squats, you gotta do squats. That's not true. Squats are great when you do them perfectly, But if you can't do them perfectly, they're not worth hurting yourself over. There's plenty of other great exercises that are just as good that can build your butt up. So one way to test if you have muscle imbalances is you can put the camera down in front of you or go in a mirror, or if you know a really good trainer, and do some squats facing that mirror or that camera and try to do a bunch to where you tire yourself out as much as possible. You can even use weight and see if you shift a little from side to side. If you don't shift, if you think you're perfect, that's fine. Increase that weight, focus on good form, and you'll be good to go. If you see yourself shifting, if there's rotation of the hips, then squats may not be the best exercise for you, at least doing them heavy with the barbell. Okay, so that was a little bit on how to do squats correctly, and I went over some different myths there that you hear going around. So once again, squats, if you can do them correctly, like the way I'm teaching you, they're a great exercise for your butt. If you can't do them correctly, they're not worth getting hurt over. So if you're just struggling with squats or not working out for you, you know what, don't worry, you can still get a great butt without squats. Check out Vicky's before and after video, put a link right here. So she did it without heavy barbell squats. You can too.